Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Good Leader Podcast. Man, we got a full deck today. So excited about what's going on. We are down one. The wonderful Jess Treat is taking vacation. You know, she said she was inspired on one of the last couple episodes.
She did.
And she meant it. Look at this. Way to go, Jess. She's following through.
She just took time off.
Talk about throwing it out there. Like, you know what? I was inspired. I need to take a break. And she took a break. Way to go. So, you know what? If you say you're going to do it and make it happen, you know? Ready, fire, aim. That's what I say.
She took an action.
I like it. So Jess isn't with us, but we do have Anj. We got Lim, and we are ready to talk about discipline today. The main topic today is going to be discipline, specifically discipline versus willpower. Are they the same? Are they different? I contend they are very different, but we think of them subconsciously almost the same way. Or at least we may not use the words interchangeably, but I think the way that we approach our life, our growth, our business, we approach those things subconsciously assuming willpower and discipline are the same things. So I hope to debunk that today. Maybe I'm wrong. Y'all might come with some heat and be like, actually, Jared, here's what we think. So we'll see where we land on that. But today, in thinking of personal growth, I think that the idea of discipline is paramount to personal leadership. Like whether we're talking about like you're an entrepreneur or whether you're a manager, a C-level executive, pastor, parent, any sort of leadership begins with personal leadership, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. How are you managing yourself? How are you managing your time? Are you disciplined is a key component of that. So that's what we're going to break down today. But before we get to any of that, I got a bone to pick. And it's a brand new segment. No way. You know, I'm throwing out new segments. I hope you're keeping track of which ones we like, which ones we don't like. Here's the segment, and here's the niche or whatever for the segment. Any one of us at any week, we can come in here with an am I wrong question. Am I wrong? That's the name of the segment. Am I wrong? Okay.
Like am I wrong to think?
Am I wrong? Well, I think it's am I right or am I wrong about this? Here's my opinion.
Okay.
Am I wrong?
Okay.
You know, one of those things. It's like, you know, and probably not about the actual topics we're talking about. Like mine. Okay. Like for example, here's mine today. Then I'm gonna throw it out and you vote. Okay. I'm not even trying to be persuasive necessarily. I'm just going to give you my pitch, and then you put it to a vote. Typically, if we have Jess here, we would have 3 voters, so we will end up with a majority. Yeah. Today, we might have a split decision, which we'll see. Am I wrong? I was driving down the road the other day in beautiful Muskogee, Oklahoma. Having a great day. Nothing's bothering me. You know, I try not to be bothered by the world around me. I can only control my attitude and my actions. I can't control the actions of others, but sometimes the actions of others really affect my life. We're all like that to some extent. And the things that affect my life really aren't the big things. It's surprising. The big things that people do, I'm like, you know what? People are people. It's okay. Like, wow, they really wounded us. Yeah, but you know what? Let's forgive and let's move on. But then something like this happens and it really grinds my gears, you know? And I'm thinking, are you kidding? The audacity, the hubris, the ridiculousness of this. I'm driving down York. I'm driving north on York Street. You know I am. I'm driving north on York Street. I'm listening to my 1990s praise music. I'm having a good time. Me and Darlene Check, we're praising the Lord together.
Shout to the Lord.
Hallelujah. And I'm going along, and then all of a sudden, my praise was taken from me because I look over. I don't want to name names because I'm a big advocate for local businesses, you know, especially in beautiful Muskogee. So I'm not even going to throw the business under the bus. But let's just say it was a coffee shop. And I saw this coffee shop, and outside of this coffee shop is a giant 8-foot-tall jack-o'-lantern decoration.
Okay.
Today, we're
like Halloween?
Amen. Like it's August. Today is August 22nd. So I saw this on August the 20th. I saw this. They got their Halloween decorations out already. Enough. Enough. Okay? Enough. Enough. Are we just going to start pushing back every holiday? I mean, we're starting to celebrate Christmas the day after Halloween, which I hate. I am hashtag Save Thanksgiving all the way. Still have the website. Go to the website. Sign the petition for me. Hashtag SaveThanksgiving.com. But now, we're just going to back up everything? So it's like, oh, you know what? Well, Christmas is December 25th. We start celebrating that at Halloween. Well, it's August. There's not a major holiday in August. We better, sorry, Labor Day.
I was about to say, forget Labor Day.
Forget Labor Day. Well, now, August 20th, to me, okay, so here's my stance. Am I wrong? August 20th, you got your Halloween decorations out? Are you kidding me? Put them away. Have some patience, people. Enjoy the moment. Live where you live. Okay. Am I wrong? That's my rant.
I've
Am
got
I wrong?
some thoughts. Anj, you want to go first?
I knew Lim would.
Lim? Okay, great. Let's go toe to toe. Am I wrong?
On an emotional level, I would say I agree with you.
Oh my gosh.
We need to.
What's the other level?
Well, on an objective level, I say if people want to celebrate, who am I to tell them when to celebrate?
No. I agree with you. No, my personal opinion.
Okay.
But I can understand from a business perspective. People are trying to put their business out as the place to purchase, like Lowe's, for
Get
instance.
your pumpkin spice here, folks.
Yeah,
Right here, right now, already.
Lowe's has had Halloween stuff out for like 3 weeks.
I don't like it either.
what in the
I don't like
world?
that crap either.
So as a consumer, I'm not for it, but I can understand it from a business perspective.
Because you want to be
Okay,
the first
so
one.
the logical conclusion of this is we're going to end up with this just a cacophony of holidays all together. Like it's just going to be like, well, you know what, we got our Halloween stuff out. We're going to throw a little bit of Christmas stuff out there too, for those early Christmas people. Now, okay, you know what? Let's go and throw some Easter stuff out there. So it's going to be January the 2nd. I'm going to be able to get my Halloween. Come on,
I think
seriously.
At minimum, you have to wait till the next holiday has passed. 'Cause
Backlash is coming.
We've got like Labor Day until Halloween, so we need to at least wait till Labor Day, right?
That's the question.
So
So
I agree
am I
with you.
wrong? I think, at least, at a minimum. To me, Halloween starts on October 1. That's when Halloween starts to me. If you're like, hey, when you're going to put up you're going to make a jack-o'-lantern or put up a Halloween decoration? I'm like, well, I guess in October.
Like I think you should wait.
When do you
for
put up your Halloween
Christmas
decorations?
till after Thanksgiving.
Christmas to after Thanksgiving.
So after Thanksgiving ends, you can start
Well,
celebrating.
that's when we do, yes. But I know I'm in the minority of that. But that's why
some people start
I
celebrating
know I'm the
Christmas
minority
on
on that. See, to
October
me,
15th.
it's the Thursday. But I love our Christmas tradition because it's Thursdays, Thanksgiving. It's all Thanksgiving. Great. Black Friday / day after Thanksgiving, it's like, boom, Christmas it up, Christmas it out. That's when we put up our tree. That's when we decorate the house. That's when we start making
Yeah, that's
cookies
what we
and
do
playing music. We do the whole, and I'm all in. I am all for it. I'm all for Halloween even. Like, hey, I don't do much scary stuff, to be honest, but I get it. Go for it. I just don't like it. But
Yeah.
I'm all for Halloween and candy and fun and decorating and dressing up. Cool. But October, when do you start? When do you go? When you decorate for Halloween?
Well, I'm dying
You don't
that,
seem like
that
much
you
of a
think
decorator.
I decorate.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're bad.
Our house
When do
looks
you let your
the
kids start
same
getting
the whole
excited
time.
about Halloween?
Yeah.
Probably we talk about Halloween
October
October 29th.
29th? Okay, Anj is a very bad example.
I am literally the world's worst example. I'm like, oh shoot, you have your Halloween party
dang,
tomorrow.
it is Halloween.
Well, what do you want to be? Let me see what I can pick up at Target.
Here's what happens in our household. I'm the same as you. If it was up to me, I wouldn't decorate for any holidays, probably.
Okay.
But my wife does decorate. But we're not Halloween people per se. We're more
Yeah.
like fall people.
Okay,
Right
okay,
now- right
okay,
now
okay.
it
I can
is-
go with that.
It's 109 degrees. We're not going to
Yeah.
be decorating fall right now.
I know. That's my point. Okay, all right.
This
so
is
am
my
I wrong?
thought. This is
Y'all are
my
on my
thought.
side on this.
I'm
I
on your
think I'm
side.
on your side. I would say to the world, like, read the room.
Yeah.
Just read the room.
Well, read the
Like,
room. We're all
even
sweating
if-
out here. It's hot.
Even if you want
That's
to
good.
be ahead of the time on the Halloween stuff, like,
Yeah.
it is 110 degrees in Muskogee, Oklahoma today. The room's not having it.
That's a good
the
point.
room's not interested
You know what?
in a hot
And this is the Good Leader
chai
podcast.
latte.
You're exactly right. This is the Good Leader
Pumpkin
podcast.
spice.
So let's turn it into a leadership lesson or a business lesson. If the business is trying to drum up business, and look at me, look at us, man. If they had had an inflatable ice cream cone out there, I know they're a
That's
coffee
different.
joint, but if it's like ice cream cone, hey, cool off with an ice cream latte. Oh, a nice little affogato. I'm big on affogatos, by the way.
Love affogatos.
Oh my
That's
gosh,
Italian.
I know.
Yeah.
Is that the stuff with?
That's my heritage.
Are you
right
Italian?
there.
I thought you were Libyan.
Who knows? Today it's Italian.
Is that the stuff with olive oil in it?
No. Affogato is it's ice cream with espresso just poured over
Were
the
you
top.
making a dad joke?
No.
Oh, he was serious.
Starbucks has that new drink line that's got olive oil in it. Have you
What?
seen it?
I haven't heard of this.
I have
That's
tried
definitely
one
not an
sip, and
avocado.
It was okay, but it sounded like that would be
You just
it.
drinking olive oil over there?
No, it's supposed to make it taste better. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I gotta
Olive
research
oil,
this.
not
Yeah.
like a different
Go
one, like a
ask
butter
Starbucks.
oil.
We're gonna
or
get
something.
the, okay.
defending
We'll put
that.
the research team on Starbucks. But to the point, I like what you're saying, Anj. Read the room. If you want to get ahead of the season, fine-ish. But what's better than getting ahead of the season is reading the room, being different. Understand? Like I said, if they would advertise an affogato, I might have been like, you know what? That is a great idea. I never go to this coffee shop,
Yeah.
but that's drawing me in. Tell you what didn't draw me in. The pumpkins, and I'm out. I'm
Yeah.
not even going there. I
If you want-
refuse to go. I'm done. I'm done with them.
If you want to advertise the season, you got to know the season. Clearly, no one stepped outside.
All right, that's the Am I Wrong segment. Write in, call in, tell us. What do you think? Call in. I don't like this is a 1997 radio.
1-800.
People are listening to
Call
podcasts
in.
like people
We'll
don't
answer
call
the dial.
podcasts, Jared. All right, 1-800.
DM us is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, DM. That's what I meant. 1-800. Know the times, Mur. All right. All right, today we're talking about discipline versus willpower. Discipline, what is your immediate thought? What's your definition of discipline? Maybe you even looked one up, when we had this in pre-production and we're thinking about what is discipline. So let's just start with there. What's discipline? I have a very simple definition that I've come up with that I absolutely love. Y'all can crush it, but, I'm already on a roll today. We're all on alignment on holiday celebrations. Discipline. What do you think about discipline? Lim, let's go you first.
All right.
Discipline.
My first reaction is discipline seems long form. Like, are you consistent over time?
Okay.
Willpower to me is momentary. That's what I would say.
Love it.
Man, he may have actually
steal
taken
your
it
answer?
exactly from
Okay,
me.
all right.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Okay. Well, I like where you're going because I'm in the same boat. I've actually got four qualities of willpower versus discipline that I'd like you to tell me what you think. But our boy, Jim Rohn, is the king of discipline quotes. If you just Google up discipline quotes, Jimmy is all over the place. Okay. Do you guys know who Jim Rohn is?
Jim Ron?
Yeah.
Never heard of him.
Never
Really?
heard of
That
him.
surprised me. It really surprises me from you, Andrea. Halfway
Wow,
surprised
that
me
was
for
a
Lim.
disappointment right there.
Not disappointment. I don't care. I'm not like a Jim
Andrea.
Ron. I'm not like a Jim Ron. I'm not like a Jim
Wow,
Ron.
Andrea.
Wow, use
I
your full
really
name.
expected
If I
you
knew
to
your middle
know.
name, I'd throw your middle name in there. It's Jim Ron. He's a leadership guy. He passed away, I don't know, a while ago.
Okay.
I'm not a big Jim Rohn fan. I've just seen his quotes in leadership circles a bunch. He is very quotable. He's like a Zig Ziglar, John Maxwell.
I wonder if I know his quotes and just not him. You know how
but
that happens?
Well, I'm the opposite. I knew his name, but didn't know his quotes. But like,
Oh.
if you would have said, "Hey, who's Jim Rohn?" I was like, "Well, he's like an author, speaker, one of those guys, like Zig Ziglar."
Oh, okay.
Okay, but anyway, I looked up for today's pod, and I'm like, man, Jimmy is all over the place, and he's really good with discipline. Discipline is the foundation upon which all success is built. Lack of discipline inevitably leads to failure. That's what Jim Rohn says. Here's another one.
Is that that's just a quote? That's not his definition.
No, that's a quote.
Oh,
I'm just
okay.
giving you quotes. You gave me the
I was like, well,
definition,
that
your
didn't define
thoughts.
anything.
No,
Okay,
sorry. It's
got
more,
it.
no, now I've jumped ship to say like, hey, quotes about discipline.
These are the thoughts.
Discipline the word. These are thoughts. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment.
Okay.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
It's one of those that's like, yeah, and then obvious. Well, kind of, but you got to say it. You got to write it down, and then you get credit even when you're dead.
Yeah.
All right.
That'll preach.
Pretty solid.
Get that copyright.
Success is the result. Now, this is good. This is the best one. I saved the best for last.
Okay.
Save the best for last. Vanessa Williams. All right. You guys know this song? Other songs you probably don't know. Save the best for last by Vanessa Williams. You go and save the best for last.
You said Vanessa Williams. I don't know why my mind went to the tennis
Sometimes
player.
the sun goes round the moon.
Is there a tennis player? Am I thinking of Serena Williams?
Venus, and
Oh, see, that's
my
well,
Lord.
that's the only place my mind
Venus
went.
and Serena Williams are sisters, tennis players.
I thought maybe she had a
Vanessa
commercial. that had
Williams was a
song in
former
it or
Miss
something.
USA / Miss America, one of those, and
Oh.
singer. Vanessa Williams. Okay, and actress. All right. Anyway, I saved the best for last. Gosh.
I'm ready.
Jeez Louise.
We'll
All
get
right.
someone in here for
Back,
you
in,
one
back
day.
in my day, we celebrated Christmas at Christmas. All right. Success is the result of nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day.
It's good.
That one's good. That was solid. I like that one. All right, so you got
I like them all. I like that
all
one.
those. I like that one the best.
Yep.
I thought y'all would. I saved the best for last. So there's a connection between discipline and success because you can get lucky. And I told you can get lucky. You can win the lottery. You can stumble upon something and be successful in the short term, kind of like that short versus long term. But if you're looking for the tried and true, you know what I'm saying? If it's like, hey, I want to be a good basketball player. Well, you can get out there and never touch a ball and make a shot. Maybe. You just shoot and you made it. But that's going to run out.
Yep.
Discipline is what takes you to continued success, which I think is what we all want with the Good Leader podcast. That's what we're looking for. Continued success.
Yeah.
Wait, maybe not? You're looking.
No. I am actually just thinking like, wow, I know a perfect example for this.
What is it?
I just watched Johnny Manziel's his Untold Truth. Do you guys
Oh,
know
I didn't
that
watch
is?
that yet. Do I know who Johnny Manziel is? Yes.
Okay,
Come on.
well, honestly,
You kidding me?
couple circles I've been in, they're like, is that an author? I'm like,
Johnny Manziel. No, he's a football player
an
and a real
I know.
a real loser in
Well,
my
you
opinion.
should- well,
not
I
a
know.
man of upstanding character.
Not at all.
not known
Man, my,
for his
like,
high integrity.
My rebellion heart like felt for him, but I was like, man, John, he reached a point where I was like, I can't fight for you anymore.
I didn't watch the
It's
documentary
pretty
though.
bad.
I heard his whole family is pretty questionable from the documentary.
Man, I gotta see this.
I
Yeah.
believe it.
For the audience, for those who don't, Johnny Manziel, quarterback for Texas A&M about 19 years ago, probably, won the
Something like that,
Heisman.
yep.
Really incredible. He's got Johnny
Won the
Football
Heisman.
was his nickname.
Johnny Football is his nickname. He won the Heisman his freshman year.
Yeah.
First, I'm pretty sure first to ever do it. Win a Heisman his freshman year. And honestly, he's pretty incredible. He's like a super talented football. Like I watched some of his tape. I was like, wow, that's crazy.
Is
Like,
he in the NFL now?
No, he did not last in the NFL at all. He did not last at all.
So he is literally one of, I mean, I wouldn't put him as the best, but like his talent was, I would say high as a football watcher. Like I thought it was very high. That man though relied only on his talent.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
And I am like, wow, that is the difference between long-term success and just a short-term gain. Because he changed the world of college football.
Yeah.
I would say,
Oh,
like
yeah.
for a while there, and like so much so he ended up leaving college, got drafted into the NFL. I think would have been his sophomore at junior-ish year of college. So for all intents and purposes, if he had like gotten his discipline in line and had gone that route, I think he could be in such long-term success right now. But instead, he literally went backwards. I think he went backwards because now people were asking him to be disciplined when he had no skills or traits. He didn't have the tools for what discipline required. And now he needed to go all out in being disciplined in the way he needed to be successful. So anyway, you were just saying that like long-term, yeah, you may have a jolt of inspiration or a jolt of success, but long-term success is really found within the discipline.
Well, and even to that point, which I haven't watched the documentary, but I have heard bits and pieces, just because in my circles, I travel in sports, viewing circles. And so I've heard people talk about the documentary, but like he knew he wouldn't pass a drug test coming upon, so he relied on willpower. This is actually a good example because it was like, okay, I can make it until the draft. And he didn't, right? Like he didn't. So they ended up having all these schemes to try to avoid it. Well, like if this happens, then we can do this, and your dad can fake a heart attack, and we can do all this kind of stuff. Okay, because he didn't. So in other words, he did not create a system. This is discipline versus willpower now. He just said, okay, I will go until draft day not drinking or not doing drugs or not whatever his abusive choice
all of
was.
it, really.
All of it. Okay, that's willpower. That's willpower. Saying I won't do this for any certain amount of time. That's willpower. Even if you say, you know what, I'm not going to do this for a day. I'm going to wake up early tomorrow. I'm going to work out tomorrow. I'm going to do it. So it's not even. But that's just willpower. Any extended period of time, I'm going to do this or I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to eat out anymore. I'm not going to eat the donut. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to, I'm not going to spend money. Or I'm going to work. I'm going to work harder. I'm going to work later. I'm going to do more. All of those things are willpower based. No matter what formula you use, because we're really big on goal setting. Great. So you set a goal. Great. And then I think many, many times, well, what are you going to do to achieve that goal this year that you didn't do this year, that you didn't do last year? And the answer is willpower. We don't say it's willpower.
Right.
But we say, oh, I'm going to work harder. Well, that's willpower. I'm going to really focus for a couple weeks. I just know if I really focus on this goal for a couple of weeks, I can do it. And maybe you can. Because sometimes people have strong willpower. Some people have strong willpower, and so it might work. Maybe you just get lucky, you hit the shot one time, or maybe you do have strong willpower, so it works. Johnny Manziel relied on talent. I don't know that willpower and talent's the same.
Yeah, I know.
But I would say I have really strong willpower. How would you rate yourself on willpower? I have like really high willpower to me. Really high.
I would agree with
I'm
that.
pretty high.
I think my willpower exceeds my discipline.
100%. Now that is me for sure.
Yeah.
I
100%.
Sadly.
I think I'm inverse of that.
I believe
would
that for
bet
you.
that.
Yeah.
I
Like
bet
my willpower.
Lindsay's another one that comes to my mind.
my wife, her discipline exceeds her willpower.
Yeah.
Her discipline's awesome. Her willpower, Jen's pretty high on both, actually.
I was going to say, Jen's kind of an
Jen's
anomaly.
Jen's pretty high on
She's
both.
really
yes.
good.
But me, I will speak for myself. Okay. I think my willpower is extraordinarily high to the point. That's why even like when we're playing basketball, it's like, man, Jared, you play longer than everybody else. Yep. Because of my willpower. Like I am hurting just as bad. I'm older than everybody. I should quit. I should quit right now. But I have a strong will. That's why it's like, oh, we got to get this done. Like I have a big hustle factor. So sometimes here's what I think. High achievers overestimate their discipline.
They'll burn out.
And they end up burning out because they're relying on willpower. And that inevitably fails.
They're not relying on their systems. They're relying on their really resilience.
Willpower, talent. I think those are connected. They're not all the same things. But that's
Depending
what
on
I'm
the
saying.
person,
So my point is, if you do happen to have high willpower, great. Combine it with discipline.
Well, I'm thinking of the implications of this, and I think it's helpful to distinguish. I think there are times when I will be fearful about doing something because I know maybe my willpower isn't where I want it to be.
Yeah.
So then I feel like, oh, man, I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah, so you don't set the goal or you don't set out because you know, I'm just going to fail.
Yeah.
And that's all.
Oh, so that's if you're like almost too set in the system and not willing to do
Yeah, like when maybe something requires discipline, I might think it requires willpower, so I'll avoid something.
Okay, actually, let's break that down for a second, because I think what happens is the default thinking is based on willpower. So like what, and I've had conversations not just with Lemuel, but other people who are like, well, I know I'll fail at that. Well, what do you mean? You're saying my willpower is low. Maybe not use that phrase, but you're saying my willpower is low. I know I'm not going to be able to do that. So I'm not going to set that goal. You know, if it's like whatever, like, hey, stop drinking pop. I'm just thinking of obvious things. You know, I love pop. I know I'm going to fail. So the question is not, it's not that it requires discipline, not willpower, to me.
Okay.
I think it's two different approaches. It's saying like, well, you're approaching that problem, whatever your goal is. I want to lose weight. I want to be healthier. I want to consume less sugar. So you're approaching it with a willpower mindset. Forget that and approach it with a discipline mindset.
Gotcha.
Which is about systems, to Anja's point. So here, I've got 4 things about willpower versus discipline that I've come up with. And then how do we accomplish some of this? All right, so to think of the difference, willpower to me is big, discipline is small. So willpower is saying like this big, like, okay, I'm not going to do this. It's a big act, even if it is short term. It feels bigger. Like, ooh, I am not doing this thing, or I am working out every day. I am not doing this other stuff. Discipline is small. It's a small action. It's like, oh, actually, I'm going to set my alarm 5 minutes earlier. Actually, I'm going to set 2 alarms, one here and one there, so I for sure get out of bed in this small way. It's a small thing. It's like it comes back to kind of like atomic habits, but discipline is small. Willpower is short. Discipline is long. We've already talked about that one. That was even your definition. Okay, this one I really like, these last 2. Willpower, to me, and I could be wrong, I don't have any psychological surveys on this. I don't have any data. This is just Jared anecdotal, so I could be wrong. I'd love it if somebody proves me wrong or shows me actual, research-based evidence on this. But seems to me, in working with people for a very long time, willpower is mostly nature. Discipline is mostly nurture. Willpower, it's not necessarily that you're only born with it, but I think it is a more natural, innate thing. Like, wow, that person just kind of has a lot of willpower. I've had willpower my whole life. Have you had willpower your whole life?
Oh, too much.
Too much. But that's my point. I think it's
Parents
mostly
would probably
nature.
say.
Like some people are just born with it. Yeah, I think so. Like like, hey, stop doing that. Or, I can just say, I'm not going to do that anymore and accomplish that. Whereas discipline is more nurture. You teach yourself how to be a disciplined person. So if you see someone who is very disciplined, they probably necessarily weren't born that way. They're probably like, man, you're a good student and you've taught yourself good study habits. Wow, you work out a lot and you've taught yourself, you've disciplined yourself with these systems to work out in these ways. You have these good habits. And even the way we think about it, like, oh, they have good habits. Yeah, those are nurtured traits. Yeah. So discipline is more nurture. So this goes back to your point, like, man, if I know I'm going to fail, I sometimes don't even set the goal because it's a willpower approach instead of discipline approach. Yeah. Okay. Then the last one is willpower then is reactive. Discipline is proactive.
That's good.
Oh, if I'm approached with the donut, I'll say no, reactive. Hey, you want this pop? No. You want this donut? No. Do you want to work out? No. I'm doing all health things because they're very easy for me to think about. But you could do it with work. Like, hey, do you want to work late tonight? Oh, I'm so tired. I'm not going to. Like if you're like, oh, I really, I want to do this side hustle. Well, willpower is reactive. It's after, you work a 9 to 5, you want to start your own business, so you're going to do it at night. Are you going to do it tonight? Oh, I'm kind of tired. Well, my kids are really being crazy. Well, this is happening. Reactive, reactive, reactive. And your willpower is not strong enough. Discipline is the system to be like, well, every night at 9 o'clock, I sit down, I write 100 words, I make 100 calls, I send 100 emails, I do whatever it is. Discipline, this is the system, no matter what, and it's proactive. So those are some ways to think about. So in other words, for today, if you are not accomplishing what you're accomplishing in life, I think you should think about discipline more than willpower, and discipline is systems. And here's my then 2-word definition for discipline. Discipline is routine followed. That's what discipline is. Yeah. That's all it is. It's routine followed. It's choosing a routine for whatever you want to accomplish, whether it's your marriage, your relationships, health, business, parenting. I want to be a better parent. Well, what do? Well, play with your kids more. Well, when am I going to do that? I don't have time. 5 o'clock every day, play with your kids. 5 o'clock every day, jump on the trampoline. 5 o'clock every day, get out a board game. 5 o'clock every day, do this. Or like as soon as I get home, the first thing I do when I get home is we do this. And it's this routine followed equals discipline.
The phrase that's coming to mind is big doors swing on little hinges.
I love that one. I love that one. Bonus points. Bonus points to Lim. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. You want to expound on that?
Yeah, just what's the smallest thing that I can do that will make the biggest impact? I will admit there have been times I've consciously thought, what can I do to make myself want to do this? It goes back to, I think you might have said a couple podcasts ago.
Oh, I say it a lot. I want to know.
I want to.
Yeah.
So if it's something that I know just feels so daunting, I'm thinking, okay, how can I trick myself into loving this? Or how can I not just trick myself? What are the small things that will make it easier to do this big thing? So I don't know.
I think there's that reminds me of a quote that I can't remember where I heard it, but it had said something along the lines of, our discipline today can result in our delight tomorrow.
Ooh,
Meaning
like that.
the more disciplined we are, almost kind of fight through maybe what is uncomfortable today, it becomes something about like 60 to 90 days to form a habit. It used to say that it was 30 days to form a habit. I think newer research says
There's
it's
all
60 to
kinds of
90
numbers.
days.
I don't know,
It
21,
takes
30,
a lot of
60,
days
90.
to build a habit.
Yeah.
But what I do know is, and I haven't done this well in my life because, again, discipline is actually low for me. But when I have lived in that way, discipline actually has become my delight. I used to, hate working out. Well, now I look forward to it. Oh, I've realized after doing this so much, it's my only hour away from my kids, or it's the only time I'm able to let out stress, or it's the only time I can kind of work through frustration. And, now what I kind of used to dread in discipline has become my delight later on.
And even if it doesn't, you like the results.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't, you
my
delight in the results.
especially for high achievers. Well,
Yeah.
honestly, I hate that thing, and I'm always gonna hate that thing.
Right.
But I am loving myself more
Totally.
as a result of this, or loving my job more, or whatever the outcome of accomplishment is. I love the feeling of accomplishment, and I will keep doing the thing that it takes to get that done.
All right, so discipline, here's what we're wrapping up with. It's about systems, and it's about those small things, big doors, swing on little hinges. That's really good. When we get back from the break, how long will we roll? Should we do this for another podcast? Should we come back from the break? I got a 30-day discipline challenge for us.
We've got some time.
We got some time. Let's do it today?
Yeah.
You feeling okay? All right, here we go. We got to come back from the break. And after the break, I'll give us the 30-day discipline challenge. I got 5 steps, and we'll see if you accept. All right, you can refuse.
All right.
All right, we'll get back from the break. Bum, 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 ba-da-da, bum, 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 bum. Super Mario's. I don't know why I'm doing Super Mario over there, but da-da-da-da-da-da. Do you feel like you're on the same level over and over again? That even if you rescue the princess, kill Koopa, and victory follows, it pretty much is mundane. You need to change up your business, change up your leadership, change it up, have a paradigm shift. Ladies and gentlemen, if you need leadership training, cohorts, workshops, if you want to engage your team like never before, check out www.ps.company. Don't just live life boring. Grab a flower and become supercharged. Paradigm shift, ps.company. Dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. All right, we're back from that break.
That needs an applause.
Yeah, well, there
There you go.
His own music and
That
everything.
was a
There you go.
Grammy or an
There you
Emmy,
go.
Whatever.
All right, we're coming back from the break. Coming back from the break.
Well, here we are.
Rick, here we go. I really don't know why I thought of Super Mario
I
Brother
don't know
music, but
either.
it was
That's
there.
not where my brain
All right,
was going,
So the
but-
30-day discipline challenge. This is it. Okay, I got 5 steps here, and we're gonna go through this. This could be totally terrible. Okay, but I want us to try this for 30 days. Once again, you can choose not to. I'm gonna try this for 30 days.
Okay.
I for real am. Okay. This is not, you keep me accountable out there, all right?
put
So
this
it's
on my-
August 22nd. So that means what's 30 days? I don't know, September 22nd? That's
Yeah.
some rough math.
Roughly, yeah.
Roughly, all right. Months are weird, though, you
Yeah.
know? Months are weird.
September 21.
This whole Roman calendar.
Because there's a 30th.
All right, September 21st.
Yeah. There's a 31st.
Thank you. There you go. See, calendars are weird. All right. I got 5 steps, and I'm going to see if this works. Okay, so the first step, we're going to do this together. This is in preparation for the pod. I read all Jim Rohn's quotes and read his stuff, good stuff. I thought about Willpower, read several articles. That's actually, if you Google it up, there's a pretty cool diagram that comes up pretty early. I think Lim was looking at it earlier about like it's got these 2 big arrows, and one says like it's going in one direction. It's like responsibility, discipline. What's uncomfortable early becomes comfortable later. What's comfortable early becomes uncomfortable later. And that's really good stuff. So I really like it. You can Google it up, find some good things. But I'm like, okay, if I just want to grow in this, and I want to encourage others how to grow in this, like how do I start? You know, like all this discipline stuff. I put in systems. There was a point where I just kept hearing the word systems over and over, and I was like, okay, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of just hearing systems. But it really is true. So let's start small. Okay, 5 steps. Step number 1, you got to pick one area. Pick one thing. Just one, not a bunch, just one. This is the 30-day discipline challenge. So pick one area of your life that you want to improve in, grow in, be more disciplined in any sort of way. Okay, pick one area. Pick one thing. Okay, just a big, this is not like set a goal. I didn't say set a goal. I just said pick an area. So you could say, my marriage, my relationship with my spouse. Cool. You could say health. You could say business. You could say just leadership development. Like, I just want to know more and, whatever. Okay, pick one thing. Got your thing?
Oh, yeah.
I got my area. Okay, you start us off, Anj. What's your area? Got yours?
Yeah, I do. I was about to change my mind.
You can change? Wow. Okay, you're making me nervous here. It's like my relationship with my direct reporting boss. Okay. All right. We can do this.
Saying them out loud. Oh, let me.
Yeah, we're saying it out loud. That's the point.
No, I'm kidding.
This is accountability. Me, you, God, the audience, everybody.
Okay, then I will probably go with reading.
Reading. Okay, my area is health.
Specifically reading.
What were you going to say first? Now, the audience is dying to know now. What was the first thing
that
you
you
now
joking
changed?
Because you were talking about like, it's my direct report.
Yeah,
and I was like, well, I really want to work on,
okay.
conflict with Jared.
All right, exactly. Yeah, conflict resolution with my boss. It's pretty good. We conflict really well. People are surprised by how often we argue.
Get into it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right. All right. I'm picking health, personal health. Lim, what about you?
I think I need y'all to help me pick one of these two. I got physical, which would be health.
Let's get physical.
I don't like saying this because this feels just ick, but personal brand. This idea, it feels ick, but it's been a goal.
Does it feel ick, Jared?
Yeah.
Sick.
Sick. That's so yucky. I don't know. What does it mean feel ick? I do have this thing.
Jessica,
I do have this great.
Where are you?
I do have this great. I was listening to this fantasy football podcast, and they got this great shtick about things that are ick. Like we got some players that we don't want to draft because you just got the icks. And so they had all these. They had all these people listening to the podcast to ask their significant others what they do that's an ick. And so it's hilarious. It's like anytime, like when someone else is rubbing suntan lotion on you, that's an ick to me. Like when I see your mom straighten your hair, that's an ick. There's like talking about these men in their life, their spouses. It's really funny. Sorry. So ick. I'm not icked by personal brand. You own your own business.
Okay.
It's a leadership podcast.
It's a leadership podcast. It's a business podcast.
To build your brand.
Personal brand. Okay, great. Personal brand. Okay, great. Now, next thing. This is good because it's also now we have 3 different things. Yeah. Because I'm picking health. Okay. So that's step number 1. Now notice, we didn't pick a goal. We didn't get elaborate here. It's just like, you could finish this, like, you could actually do this exercise, just say, I wish. I wish I was healthier. I wish I had a better personal brand. I wish I read more. Great, cool, boom, finish that statement. Number 2, all right, focus on discipline, not the result. So once again, we're not even setting a goal, but focus on the discipline. All right, so between here and like your future goal, envision your future self here. And what is the discipline? Like if you read Atomic Habits, he would say, what is someone who has a great personal brand? What would they do? What is someone who is healthy? What does a healthy person do? What does a reader do? Okay, so focus on the discipline. So is it like, I want to read 5 minutes a day, a little bit a day, a chapter a day? Is it I want to, on personal brand, I want to have more followers? You can kind of start with the goal, but those are all results. So, the reading a little bit a day is not a result, but on personal brand, even for me, I'm going to results quickly.
Yeah.
Well, you can have that in the back of your mind, but what does someone who has those followers do?
Yeah.
Okay, so you got your thing?
Yep.
Okay, so what's your discipline?
Post valuable content.
Okay, so just
more.
post valuable content. Okay, more. All right, cool. All right, cool. More, excellent. What about reading?
Read 20 minutes each night.
Okay, excellent. Cool. And mine is going to be, I hate working out.
Play basketball.
I hate all this crap. Yeah, but okay. I'm going to pick play basketball just to show what you shouldn't do. Okay? So good. Play basketball. Okay. That's good. That's good. And you know me, and you know I love to play basketball. Okay, great. So I'm going to play basketball 3 times a week. Cool. Okay. Now, this step is where you're focusing on the discipline, not the result, but it has to be measurable. So posting more, if you do 1 time, maybe you did, maybe you didn't 2 times. So post valuable content more daily, every other day, once a week. What's the discipline? I'm going to post valuable content
I'm going to say.
Remember, the key is discipline. So is
I'm
it
gonna say
daily?
3 to
Is it-
4 times a week.
One or the other, not 3 or 4.
3 times a week.
3 times a week. Okay, great. 3 times a week. Great, excellent. Okay, question number 3. I love this. This is maybe too long. We might even have to have another podcast. All right, 3.
Yeah.
Number
Cut
3.
it after the commercial. Just
Okay.
leave the people with that.
This is part 2.
Yeah, just leave the people with
it. Okay, number 3. Now, this is where I said I'm using my basketball examples, what not to do. Because remember,
Okay.
we're starting with, remember, this is the 30-day discipline challenge. This is not be your best self, be awesome, amazing. This is just get better, okay? This is like learning to, this is discipline for the undisciplined. That's a good book title, by the way.
Yeah, there you go. Like the man with the fedora.
Let's ideate after this.
I love that. Okay. Number 3, confirm what you just wrote down. Confirm that it is easy. Seriously, I think you're, remember I said I'm workshopping this, but I think confirm it's easy. So when you look at it, I want you to be able to say with your gut, I can totally do that. I can't. So if I look at mine, play
You
basketball.
can't play basketball. Well, you can play once a week.
I know, but that's not discipline. I'm doing that now and I'm not getting the results I want. That's not discipline. So, okay, so I have to choose something that makes me better. It's like I'm saying, you have to be honest with yourself in this. Like it's not, I play basketball about once a week and that's fun and I enjoy it. And
Sure.
but it's not getting the results I want and it's certainly not discipline.
Sure.
So there is a statement, and I've been down this road before. This is the goal-setting willpower model. I'm going to play 3 times a week.
Sure.
That's a willpower model. Discipline model goes, well, that's not getting it. And no, I said easy, not enjoyable.
Sure.
I said make sure it is easy, not enjoyable. That's a distinct difference.
yeah, that's a good
Discipline
point.
is not necessarily enjoyable, but it can be easy. So
Okay.
I look at yours, Anj, and I think that's probably totally easy for you. Am I wrong? Like,
No.
If I usually look at it, I can read 20 minutes a night.
Yeah.
That's pretty easy on its own. Post valuable content 3 times a week. Is that easy? Like your gut, like, oh, that's a piece of cake.
It's pretty easy.
That's pretty easy. Sure. Okay. Is it easy? Because I said I can totally do that. Can you totally do that?
Yeah.
Do you hear the hesitation in his voice,
Depends
Anj?
on
Is
the
it just me?
Yeah, I did.
It really feels like, okay, here we go, folks. Everybody listening at home, playing the game at home. If your next answer is it depends, then your answer is not easy enough.
Okay.
So if you're like, well, it depends.
It is easy.
Oh, are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So mine, I'm going to change mine. Instead of play basketball 3 times a week, I am going to, do I want to run or do I want to stretch?
Listen, I think I have one for
Do
you.
I want to run or stretch? What? I want it to be daily.
Because I know, but I think you can do this.
Okay, I
Even
want it to
if
be
it's
daily.
10 minutes.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, because I saw this on Instagram, and
all
it was
right.
talking about the value, especially if you're not a runner, of running with a tennis ball. We joked about this before, like,
Yeah,
oh, I guess
I
you just
should
need to
run
run
with a
around with a
basketball.
basketball.
100%. Yeah.
But which is a similar case, but tennis ball is even easier, and it keeps your pace. I guess like you can't, for runners who have a really hard time, like they want to sprint ahead, or basically
Yeah.
they can't keep a consistent pace for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or an hour, however long they're running. They're supposed to run with a tennis ball, like just back and forth, or in the one
Yeah.
hand, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I thought of you because you
That's
were
good.
like,
That sounds like level 2 for me. No, it sounds like level 2. If I'm trying to be honest with myself, I'm like, man, I still don't think I'm going to do that. Like,
Are you taking ideas?
well, also, okay, hold on, because
Do
it's
Pilates on the wall.
okay. You know what? Okay,
Some new
you know what?
app.
I'm going to keep
10
going.
minutes.
Hold on. I'm going to keep going on being the bad example for each question.
Okay.
So I've changed it from play basketball 3 times a week to now. You know what? Run daily.
That seems
with
harder.
Daily.
tennis
That
ball.
seems very hard. I
What?
was going to
No.
say like run 10 minutes
Hold
3
on.
times a week.
Hold on. Run 10 minutes 3 times a week. No. I want it to be daily.
Okay.
I will say
Okay.
my discipline needs to be daily.
Okay.
Because I am in the willpower for my health. I'm in the point where I'm like, I exercise enough randomly to maintain this. Okay? Now I know everybody watching on
Awesome.
YouTube is like, you want to change something about that? I know. Hard to believe. But yeah, a little. You see what I'm
If you're
saying?
not
Like
watching on
I
YouTube,
randomly,
now's a good time to
I
switch over.
randomly, it's true, and even it's Fedora Day, so
Wow.
sorry, taken ladies. And men. I don't want to discriminate. All right. What was I talking about?
I have no idea.
Discipline. I know. This is where it's the 30-day discipline challenge. I said pick one thing or one area. I know for me, my gut answer is like, you know what? It's got to be daily. That's the difference that I'm missing. It's not that I exercise randomly here and there. Sometimes I'll randomly just do like a 25-minute workout video, but it's random, it's willpower, it's reactive, it's I feel
You
like
do
it today.
Like 20 push-ups a day or something.
Well, now we're getting somewhere because, okay, here we go,
That's what I was
Anj.
gonna
Here we go.
suggest.
Okay, stick with me. All right, so because confirm it is easy. Run with a tennis ball every day. My gut says, yeah, I can do that. I can do that every day. Okay. Because also, I'm just run daily. If I run 500 feet, I'm counting it.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not even like run 2 miles, run 3 miles, run a mile. I'm not even doing that. I'm just like, I put on my running shoes, I grabbed that tennis ball, and I ran down the road. I also live in the country, so running with a tennis ball is a lot trickier.
I know.
By the way,
I know.
can
Well,
juggle.
that's the only thing I thought about.
All right. So anyway, okay. Now that goes to number 4. Excellent. Remember, this is a 5-step process. Pick one area, one thing. Number 2, focus on the discipline, not the result. We've all done that. That's great. Confirm it's easy. Number 4 is remove barriers.
Okay.
By answering who, what, when, where, why. Remove all barriers. Mine, I immediately think of 2 barriers. Run daily with a tennis ball. I'm like, wow, okay, I live in the country on dirt roads and gravel. Even if basketball's really tough. So that incentive is already taken away. I don't like it. That's frustrating. Also, I'm like, ugh, okay, running daily, confirm it's easy.
And it's hot outside.
And it's hot outside. Thank you. The who, what, man, going outside. Okay, so now I like what you said, though. 20 push-ups. 20 push-ups a day. I'm like, oh,
Could do that while you travel.
that's a piece of cake. Andrea, hire you, get yourself a podcast. Because the other thing that's on my remove barriers, who, what, when, where, why, I travel a lot for
Yeah.
work. So to say, oh, I'm going to run through the hills of Roseburg, Oregon with my tennis ball, I'm like, man, that's kind of a barrier, you know? Or I'm in the airport right now. I don't know. I'm not getting to the hotel till midnight.
Yeah.
I can do 20 push-ups in the hotel room before I go to sleep. And it's still like, you can do that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So mine now, I am now to 20 push-ups a day. Still easy. And I removed a lot of barriers just by saying, like, that is the discipline. Okay. That's what I want to do. All right. How about you? How do you feel about yours? Read 20 minutes daily and post 3 times a week by answering who, what, when, where, why.
Okay.
What comes through your mind with that? Remove barriers, problems, opportunities. I can immediately see one with yours, Lim.
Okay.
I don't know when. 3 times a week?
I'm going to do it Monday, Wednesday, Friday in the evenings after I put my daughter down.
Okay. What time is that?
Put her down at 8.
You put her down approximately 8. I know, putting kids down, there's a variable. Don't worry.
So at about 9 p.m.
About 9 p.m., boom. Okay, cool. So if you remove barriers, you can take this as far as you want to. But now the discipline, you can put an alarm. You can put a reminder. You can put something on your phone that says, hey, do this thing, okay? Do this thing every day, 9 o'clock. I like 9 o'clock Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm going to post 20 minutes a day. Who, what, when, where. If you visualize this is the power of visualization. Now we're bringing in some other tactics. Like, okay, I can see myself doing this. Like I can see myself doing push-ups in our room right before I take a shower. Like that's when. Like that's when I'm going to do it. I take a shower every night. Guess what? I'm very disciplined. You have disciplined routines in your life. Discipline is just routine followed. I brush my teeth, okay? I got some solid
floss?
chompers over here. I floss by willpower,
Okay.
which is why it's not a very good, I don't have a routine for flossing. I floss every once in a while by willpower. That's it. Are you a disciplined flosser?
not.
Willpower. Discipline or willpower when it comes to flossing?
Oh my gosh, I have developed a deep love for flossing.
Wow.
So much so that
Okay.
it's almost like a weird addiction for me.
Hey,
I
your
was
discipline
traveling
today
the other
becomes
day
your
and I
delight
was like-
tomorrow.
I was like, man, I really, really need. Like, I was like itching for floss. Sean was like, you have a problem. You're
Wow. Yeah, that's weird.
addict. or
Sicko.
something. I was like, I never used to feel food in my mouth until it wasn't there. And now that I'm so used to it not being there, it's like every single, I'm like, I just need to get it out
Okay.
right now.
All right. So that's discipline, though. You've got these systems in place. You and I are willpower. I floss sometimes. But what did we say about willpower? In the last episode, we said it's reactive. It's not proactive. It's not planned. It's spontaneous. I don't think I said that one, but I like the
You didn't say
spontaneous.
those, but
That's
that's
not
a
even a
good
word.
word.
Yeah.
Spontaneous is the word I was looking for there. Aluminium. All right. So who, what, when, where, why? You answer those questions down. So remember, this is not necessarily goal setting. We're kind of setting a goal, but it's almost like reverse engineering a goal. Like we didn't start out with saying like, oh, I want to do this to get healthier. We're just picking a discipline. I don't even care about the results. I might lose weight. Great. I might develop more muscle. Great. Those are all outcomes that I would love to have, but I am just focused on the discipline. All I want to do is at the end of 30 days say, I did this thing. I did 20 push-ups a day for 30 days in a row. That's what I did.
Can I give you a suggestion?
Let me have it.
I think you need to balance your exercise with a back exercise so you don't hunch over.
Okay. All right.
I'll let you borrow a band that you can take with you.
I gotta be honest. I'm so far away from peak health. I don't know if I do this for 30 days that I'm gonna mess up my back.
Well, I guess with 20 push-ups.
20
you're right.
push-ups
You're
a
right.
day
Yeah,
for
I was
30
gonna
days. I
say.
don't think I have to worry about balancing my
You're
back.
right. You're right. You're right.
Also, Also, hold on, Lim. I don't want to call you out, but I think many of us are tempted that way.
Okay.
Because we start building upon the discipline. Well, you know what? Just 20. I mean, it'd be better if I just did a whole workout. So maybe just instead of doing 20 push-ups,
true.
let me just do a whole workout.
Yeah, that's so true.
Let me add to this thing.
That's true.
Forget that's the point. Don't do that. Stop yourself. I do that. I do that. Perfect is an illusion. Okay? Get discipline. And discipline starts small. Who cares? I tell you what, if I'm doing so many dang push-ups every day in a row that I'm messing up my back, praise God. Like, wow, way to go, Murr. Those pecs are looking good. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll just be hunched over.
I can't wait to see you
but
at Staff Retreat.
I am a long way from that. But I do think that what you said is with anything, not just my health, but for you, I'd be tempted the same way to be like, well, if you're going to post content, like, why don't you just do something else with that? Like, yeah, it's only going to take me like 5 minutes to post valuable content. I might as well do this other thing.
Yeah.
No. Leave that. Scratch that. We're just building discipline, especially for undisciplined people.
Yeah.
Don't start out big. Don't outstart, because the chances are you're disciplined in other areas of your life. But these things we're talking about are areas that we want to grow. We want to get better. We want to be more consistent. Then set yourself up for a win. I mean, there's this idea of micro goals, which I'm not a huge fan of micro goals, but I get the concept where instead of 20 push-ups, like do 1 push-up.
Right.
I was like, okay, well, 1 push-up, that's like nothing. No, but it is something. It's not nothing. It's literally not nothing. So do it. I'm kind of a little more like, okay, a step above micro, but it's still the same concept of just get in the habit, do discipline. I will say this, almost inevitably, when I do 20 push-ups, I do a few sit-ups. I do a couple planks, almost inevitably, almost. But I don't care about that. That's not, like, if that happens, great. I'm just saying, I did 20 push-ups. I'll get a dopamine hit. I'll get a little, progressive. If you're really nerdy and you like it, write it down. Put it, I was going to save this for the end, but Jerry Seinfeld has this famous story about this. Y'all remember the Jerry Seinfeld story? Jerry Seinfeld, world's most famous comedian, okay? World's most, maybe not most famous, but most successful. He has made more money as a comedian than anyone else in the history of mankind.
Wow.
He's a billionaire. Did you know that? Jerry Seinfeld is a billionaire.
I did not know that.
Oh, I didn't know
In
that.
1 year alone, he made $250 million.
Wow.
So Jerry Seinfeld is the most successful. So way back when, 30 years ago when he started out, this is fascinating because we think of things like, we think of artists and entertainers in that talent / willpower category.
Right.
Like, well, he's just funny.
Yeah.
And he might work at it, but it's like Steph Curry working on a shot. Steph Curry is another example.
Yeah.
If you go to a Warriors game, you should try to go 3 hours before just to watch Steph Curry's warm-up routine. It is outrageous and entertaining on its own. Jerry Seinfeld, then, he developed what he called the Red X, okay? The Red X was every day he committed to write jokes for 15 minutes. Every day. And every day he did, he put a red X in his calendar. I did it. I wrote jokes for 15 minutes. He didn't perform them anywhere. He's not practicing them anywhere. He's just writing jokes for at least 15 minutes. He's, boom, I wrote jokes today. So that every day he'd say, hey, did you work on being a comedian today? Yeah, red X. It's a red X day. And he wanted to see how many red X's he could get in a row. Now, I don't want to overblow the myth, but if you Google it up, I think he has a number. Like, yeah, my biggest streak was 10,000 or something. I think. That part might not be true. The red X part is definitely true, which just shows the discipline. There's even an app called the Red X based off that story and that mythos, where it's basically just like a calendar where every day, did you do it? Red X. Every day, did you do it? Red X. And that's what I'm talking about here. If you want to get more disciplined, it's routine followed. Pick a routine, follow. And that's what we're doing. With this 5-step system, we're just developing a routine. So we remove the barrier. So we pick the thing. We've all got our thing. I'm health. You're reading. Your personal brand. Great. We focused on the discipline, which is the act. We don't care how many followers you get. We don't care the results of the personal brand. We don't care what you learn. We don't care what you know. It's just like, well, I read 20 minutes. Okay. I don't care if I lose weight, whatever. I just know this is a good discipline to have that's going to lead me to the type of person I want to be. Number 3, this is the big one. Confirm it's easy. I can totally do that. When you look at this should not be daunting. If it's daunting, I can almost guarantee you're not going to do it because you almost by default, when it's too daunting, think in terms of willpower. This is what you were talking about, Lim, on the last episode. When you said, when you have a goal that's too big, you almost like, I'm not going to do that because I'm probably going to fail. That's why you got to pick something that's easy. Number 4, remove all barriers by answering who, what, when, where, why. The who is obviously you involved, but is there someone, this could be who is going to support you and who's going to detract. You know, who is it like, okay, I have to, like for all 3 of us have kids. Okay. So that's an important who. If you have children, that's what I mean. Like, don't say, oh, I'm going to do it like when I get off work. I am not going to do this when I get off work. Yeah. Okay. Not going to happen. Or I'm going to have to think of the who and like, I'm going to have to turn this into a game. Like we're going to have to turn this into like family push-up contest. Okay. I could do that. And maybe that's a 2 for 1.
Yep.
But I'm picking the who, what, when, why. And then number 5 is simple, but so, so, so important. Commit like your life depends on it. Don't use the words. And what I mean by that is don't use the words, even when you're talking about, like, what are you going to do? Well, I'm going to try to work out. I'm going to try to do 20 Nope, you haven't committed yet. Try is not committed. It's like Yoda. Do or do not. There is no try. Not on the commitment. Once again, because I don't care about the results. Are you going to lose 5 pounds? Are you going to build your personal brand? I don't know if you're going to build your personal brand, but you're going to post valuable content 3 times a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 o'clock. Great. Commit to it. That's why I said I'm going to let you choose, because you can be like, you know what? That was a great exercise. Don't want to do it. I look at this. It's terrible. Terrible or great, but you're like, I don't want to do it. I'm not committing. I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it. I have not even been through this myself, so this is not proven. I mean, there are lots of recipes out there.
So is this like 75 hard, where if you missed it, you have to restart the 30 days?
No. Okay. No. I'm picking 30 days because I haven't heard it leaned into as much as I'm leaning into this, the confirm it's easy part. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
So 30 days to me is achievable. Like, does it take 90 days to do a habit? I don't care. 90 days seems hard to me. Jeez Louise, 90 days? I'm probably going to miss a day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like Lim, like, 90 days in a row? I don't know. 30 days? Okay. Or do this, maybe yours isn't every single day, but for 30 days, this stretch, cool. So that's just where my brain went to confirm this easy. That's why I picked 30 days. Also, I think 30 days is good enough time to see if you want to continue the habit or not, or develop other habits around it. Like, oh, this is really good. Maybe that, hey, I'm disciplined in that. Now I add a back exercise. Okay, now I'm going to up the ante potentially, but I'm building upon that discipline. I'm not creating something new. To your exact question, no way. I'm more of the Jerry Seinfeld. I'm going to see how many red X's I can get.
In a row.
Yeah, I'm going to see how many red X's I can. And honestly, you could just say I'm going to do this like Seinfeld is just basically in perpetuity.
Right.
I'm doing 30 days, honestly, for the podcast, so we have a check-in time. We have a check-in to come back and be like, how did we do? But no, don't start over. I think that's also part of the mindset that keeps us from doing things is like, well, I guess I got to start over, or I failed, or I missed a couple of days. Well, so what? So what? You missed a couple of days. You know, it's like if you are developing a routine, remember, discipline is routine followed. This is developing the routine. Yep. And you fail, don't think about starting over, because now you're just thinking about the goal. It's not the goal of 30 days. Focus on the discipline, not the result. And at the end of this, I'm going to floss more than without this. At the end of this discipline, I'm going to work out more than otherwise. And we'll see what happens. I'm not worried about the results. But discipline is the routine followed. And I think, this is interesting. We'd have to deep dive this. But I'm curious if those people that are more disciplined, like the antithesis of you and I, Anj, I don't know if they think the same way we think. Like you and I think we're like, oh, well, if you fail, does that mean you start over? Then we're like, why would I do that? No, I missed a day. It sucks. But what do you mean start over? No. But you know what I mean?
It's just what I do.
It's just what I do.
Yeah.
Like, no, you mean to start over. Like, no, I do the laundry at 8 o'clock in the morning. I don't start and be like, well, okay, I'm going to wait. No.
Yeah.
And when we think of routines that are almost like mindless or like chore, like what's just a routine? I think you can convert more life-changing things into the same kind of routine.
Well, because if you think about the funny way to think about it, because if we're really talking like discipline is routine, I think of brushing your teeth.
Yes.
Like if I forgot to brush my teeth today, I wouldn't be like, that's it, guys. Like that's a wrap.
Yeah.
I'm just,
so
I can't brush my teeth again.
Yeah, dang. Yeah. I tried to be a teeth brusher.
I really did try. I really did try, but it didn't work out. You know,
right.
It's just part of a routine. I think I was just thinking about this as you were talking, but I think for some of us, discipline, we want to think about what we're going to gain from it and not the cost.
Okay.
Instead, so working out, I think of, okay, what do I want to gain? Well, I want to lose weight. Like that's something I want to add to my life. Gain that I want to add.
This is good.
What I don't think instead, and honestly, I'd probably be more motivated if I did think this way, but what I don't think, and that I think the discipliners do think is, well, man, I don't want to gain weight.
Well,
and I don't want to have heart issues, whatever, run in my family. Oh, I don't want that. So
100% on, because that's maybe even why this is on my mind now. Not like today now, but in this season of life, because I'm at the point in my early 40s that even though I was making the jokes, I don't really care about the way that I look. I mean, I'm sure there'd be a threshold, right? Like, all right, you got to do something, buddy. But I'm thinking of like, man, when I'm 80, I want to play basketball with my grandkids. Well, I want to be able to, like, hey, let's go on vacation. And I want to be the grandpa that's like, wow, that guy's 80. And actually, that takes discipline at 40. And it's
Yeah.
not crazy discipline though. Like it's not like I've got to be, Mr. Atlas over here at 40.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, I run a little bit. I stretch. I do push-ups. I stay in shape.
Yep.
So that when I'm 80, yeah, that's what I want. I'm not thinking about what I can gain really from working out and being healthier now. I'm thinking about what I will lose if I don't. And I know right now, I feel it. Like, okay, if I stay on this trajectory, man, 50, 60 years of age, I'm going to be the guy that's like, well, nope, I'm done. I got to sit down for a little while.
Yep.
So that's a great point.
Yeah, I think discipline is motivated, or true discipline is motivated through by consequence. And I think willpower is motivated more by gain. So like when I just talked about flossing, how much that's like become, even if I were to skip a night, which would be really hard for me to do that.
Yeah.
because of how addicted to I am now. But if I did, I would still floss the next day. Well, why did I start flossing to begin with? Well, I almost had a root canal.
Yes, the loss.
And the pain of that, I didn't. But the pain of even thinking, oh my gosh, I have to do that, made me literally think, well, I don't ever want to have to do that, so I'm going to start doing this. So much so, again, the discipline's become my delight. But it wasn't like, man, I want to have the best looking teeth. So let me start flossing. It was like the result of consequence.
This is really good, I think, that we're stumbling upon this because I think that's a mental trick that you can play on yourself as a leader because I think often in leadership and business development, all the things that we talk about on this podcast most of the time, we talk about that gain. We talk about like, okay, I want to do this thing, achieve this goal, get more. And so then we rely on talent, willpower, or the more mentality. Instead, if we flipped it mentally and said like, well, okay, instead of my goal being whatever it is, like let's just take a business goal to, write a book. For me, good, write another book. It's like, well, okay, that's willpower. That's not that motivating right now. But if I go, well, 10 years from now, you haven't written a book. You have not written another book in 10 years. I'm like, oh, geez, that's not good. Like, really? Oh, so the discipline, and so like in that world, the discipline would not be, it wouldn't be willpower to say, okay, I'm going to write a book this year. It would be like, write for 20 minutes a day. Like just type out words on paper, 20 minutes a day, boom. Kind of like your content, like the same thing, provide, boom, okay, well, I'm going to do this. And anyway, so I like that almost like as a mental trick. That's a whole other episode.
Yeah.
But that's a really interesting thought.
Yeah, even as we wrap it up, I'm thinking like what disciplines, because I wouldn't say I'm a disciplined person, but what disciplines do I do well? As I think about it, I'm like, man, all the disciplines I do well are out of fear for something else. That I do. Oh man, you're gonna get me on a tangent now. That I do well are out of discipline. So like, if you ask me like, well, why do you put so many disciplines in to be a healthy leader? It's not actually because I want to be the best leader. It's because I have such a fear that I could be a bad one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that is what it doesn't motivate me to think like, man, people are gonna think I'm awesome today. What motivates me is, well, I've seen the people who
aren't
really
awesome.
hurt some people around them, and I can't be that.
I'm so fascinated by this now. The teeth brushing example is perfect. It's like most of us have a discipline of brushing our teeth. We have that routine.
Most.
Not everybody listening.
It really
if
isn't
you're out
everybody.
there and you don't have that discipline, I encourage you. Start
got
somewhere. That should be
sweaters
your
on the
30-day
teeth.
challenge.
Start one day a week.
Sweater weather.
Start one day, one
Sweater
time a
weather.
day.
Sweater weather every day on the chompers.
Sweaters on the teeth.
All right. All right. Okay. I love our thoughts on discipline. We have spent a lot of time talking about it. 30-day challenge. It's starting now. I don't even know when this podcast is going to be released. So I don't know. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Pay attention to all social media outlets. Pay attention at Paradigm Shift, ps.company, at Paradigm Shift Leadership on all the socials, all those things. Follow, subscribe, go out there, be disciplined, and be a good leader.